Good morning, students. Today I am going to cover story writing. As you know that in the first video also I have given you two stories to develop with answer. In this video also I am going to give you two more stories with answer. But in the coming week I am going to give you some topics to write down the story or to develop the story. As you know, story writing is a creative writing, so you must create yourself your ideas so that you can develop the story properly. Okay, students, let's start with the question now. Taking help from the information given below, write a short story. Where there is love, there is God. You can invent your own ideas. You can see that the outlines are given here. Martin, a cobbler, his son died, no interest in life. A religious man reminded that Martin could not judge God's ways. Heard a voice, Martin, look out in the street tomorrow, for I shall come. Next morning an old man stood shivering in cold. Martin invited him inside, offered tea. No one came. Next morning a poor woman stood with a baby in arms. Martin gave her his bed, food and cabbage soup. Martin kept on waiting, but no one came. In dream, first saw old man, then the woman with the child. Martin crossed himself. The Lord had really come to him. So this was the complete outline. Now I am going to just give you the answer now. The story is going like this way only. Students, you must suggest a title to each and every story, whatever the story you are writing. Here the title is Where There Is Love, There Is God. In a certain town there lived a cobbler named Martin. He could recognize the people by their boots. His only son died young, and Martin did not wish to live anymore. One day a nobleman reasoned with Martin. He told him that they could not judge God's ways. God gives him life and he must live for him. Martin fell asleep. Suddenly he heard a voice. Martin, look out into the street tomorrow, for I shall come. Next morning he saw an old man standing near his window. He was shivering in cold. Come in and warm yourself a bit. He asked him to sit down and have some tea. While the old man drank his tea, Martin kept looking out into the street. He told that he was expecting the Lord himself. The old man thanked Martin for his hospitality and went away. No one came. When Martin was anxious, he saw a poor woman standing near the window with a crying baby in her arms. Why do you stand out there with the baby in the cold? Martin led her to the bed near the stove. The woman was hungry. He gave some bread and cabbage soup to her. She had no warm clothing, as she had pawned her last shawl for sixpence yesterday. Martin gave her sixpence to get her shawl out of her. After the woman had gone, his eyes were still fixed at the window, and a voice whispered in his ear, Martin, Martin, don't you know me? Martin looked around in surprise, and out of the dark corner stopped the old man. It is I. Then the figure disappeared. It is I, said the voice once more, and now the woman with baby laughed and they too vanished. Martin crossed himself. He understood that his dream had come true, and the Lord had really come to him that day, and he had welcomed him. Okay, so in this way you have to develop the stories, children, and complete the story. I am giving you one more story for you now. Rohini wanted to write a story but could not write only a few lines. Could write only few lines. Using the input along with the introduction Rohini had made, develop the story. So the beginning, here it is given. Humayun was the king of India. Sher Shah, an Afghan chief, and his bitter enemy gave dash dash dash. So This story you have to complete. Outline is given here. Attacked by Sher Shah at night, escaped, horse fell into river, struggling for life, a water carrier jumped with water bag, put Humayun on water bag, saved him. Humayun asked what he could do for him. Make me king for 3 hours, said water carrier. Reached Delhi, made him king for 3 hours. Leather coins made, water carrier's name on them. So these are the headlines. Now stories like this. Humayun was the king of India. Sher Shah, an Afghan chief and his bitter enemy, gave him no peace. Sher Shah's enemy attacked the Mughal soldiers at night. Humayun escaped. He decided to cross the river on horseback. He fell into the river and struggled for life. A water carrier was on the bank. He realized that Humayun's life was in danger. He jumped into the river with his water bag. The bag was full of air and floated on the water. He put Humayun on the water bag and brought him safely out of the river. Humayun was grateful. The water carrier had saved his life. Tell me, what can I do for you? Asked the king. Your Majesty, make me king for 3 hours, said the water carrier. Let it be so, said Humayun. The king reached Delhi. Tomorrow for 3 hours you will be the king, said the king. The water carrier sat on Humayun's throne. He ordered the courtiers, make coins from my water bag. They cut small, round pieces of leather from the water bag. The name of the water carrier was stamped on it, and the people used those leather coins for 3 hours. So, in this way, the story is going to be over, and you can just give the title to the story, The King for 3 hours. So, in this way, children, you have to develop creative writing with your own ideas and complete it nicely with proper tenses. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.